All right, I'm just gonna risk it. Normally, I watch replays ahead of time. We have VM Berrserk versus ODM Cegoz. Normally, I watch replays ahead of time and see if they're good and worth casting. But this is from the semifinals of our Legendary Lords tournament. I checked with all the drama that, like, if you watch the video, you know about or whatever. I was sick. Yep. Okay, I was sick. Got it. A lot of those replays just got broken due to how many patches there have been since the tournament started, so that's on me. But we can at least cast the semifinals and finals. So in the semifinal, we have Archaon the Everchosen versus Zhao Ming. The winner goes to fight, I believe, Marathi. Hold on. Sipa is gonna kill me if I get it wrong. Sipa's in the finals. It's Rakarth. Okay. Rakarth waits in the finals in the upper bracket. In the lower bracket here, both these guys have already suffered a defeat, but they will now see who gets to get their revenge on Rakarth. So for Archaon's forces, we do have a Hell Cannon, Chaos Trolls, Doom Knights of Tzeentch, Marauder Frontline, and then a bunch of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. I thought I saw one of Nurgle. There is one of Nurgle. Archaon the Everchosen is the legendary lord in this tournament, so he had to be taken. It looks like he brought Purple Sun as his only spell, and then Crown of Domination. The other side for the forces of Grand Cathay, once again, Zhao Ming had to be taken since that is the legendary lord Cegoz was representing, has his Burning Vambraces, and no spells. Other than that, his army, he could do whatever he wants, so he has Zaytang the Watcher, Zhengdu War Drum, bunch of Peasant Long Spears, Grace of Kiyin, Celestial Dragon Crossbows, then some Jade Warriors. We do have an Empress Croman, Onyx Croman up in the sky. This is Conquest mode, so no attacking rules, no forest camping rules apply, just army limits. So both sides using the forests heavily to their advantage. It happens. No spells at all. Okay, yeah, there it is. He has an Alchemist. I missed that. Searing Doom and Final Transmutation. Gotcha. So with Zaytang and Final Transmutation, they knew they're getting Archaon. You don't know if they're going to bring a Nurgle caster, but it looks like he wanted to go heavily on the Lord Snipe, because you know Archaon's going to cost some money. No matter how cheap you try and make him, just like base Archaon's still pretty expensive. Zaytang's trying to get an angle right now through the forest, some way he can shoot directly at the Hell Cannon and break its model, but Berserk positioned it very well, so it looks like it's not going to be a thing. Zaytang's using his bow ability. Ooh, takes a third of the HP off our Marauder unit. Damn, it's pretty good. So it looks like we have a bit of an artillery duel in the early game. The Hell Cannon is just getting consistent poke value onto Zaytang, who is very expensive and slow, so we can't dodge it. And Zaytang's trying to snipe some of the single entities that Berserk has very cleverly hidden. And also, Zaytang's trying to use his bow on cooldown versus some Marauders and stuff. Skirmish Cavalry moving out to deal with Zaytang. Once again, just getting that free little value they can. They just need to avoid getting in range of the Grace of Kiyin. And it looks like Cegoz is realizing he's not going to win this artillery duel, despite having Zaytang. So he does move up. He is going to go try and take the point from Berserk. The Warriors of Chaos currently have the point, and then force Archaon and his forces to move in at some point. If Zaytang just stays alive, if Archaon ever comes out of the woods, he will take a lot of damage from the Watcher, so it's a game of patience. But unfortunately, the Grace of Kiyin are now the target of the Hell Cannon. Super tight formation as all of Grand Cathay units are. That explosive fireball of the Hell Cannon is going to do so much damage. It's even switching onto Jade Warrior Halberds. That's really good micro, honestly. I mean, it's not that many APM or anything, but just not taking the Hell Cannon and putting it on the Grace of Kiyin and forgetting about it. He keeps switching it and waiting for people to reform lines. So now that these guys are nice and clustered up again, then he's going to shoot at them. But when they're all scattered from the first Hell Cannon shot, he switched onto something else that wasn't scattered. And Cegoz is going to try and take this different patch of forest. He wants to hide his more expensive units in there, but then set up a new defensive position around the point. Okay, that tracks. Zhao Ming taking some damage from Skirmish Cav, but he is eating a lot of their ammunition, and his small serpentine body means a lot of those axes are going to miss. And those are axes that don't go into Zaytang, don't go into his War Drum, don't go into his Halberds, anything like that. Grace of Kiyin even get in range. Berserk has to do a little bit of dodging as best he can. It is hard to dodge out away from those guys, but Archaon reveals himself. Very nice Purple Sun down the Grace of Kiyin, and he's charging in, but here comes all those sniping spells that Cegoz saved specifically for Archaon. Final Trans, Overcast, and Zaytang's trying to get into position to shoot at him, but now he's busy running away from throwing axes. He doesn't want to stop in front of those throwing axes and do his long wind-up animation, just taking free damage. So Archaon Picked a good time to run out while he had some screening for him, but still, a final transmutation cannot be avoided, and he loses a quarter of his HP. And there, Zaytang does get a shot on him, so about 2/3 HP for showing his head outside the forest for 1 second. Once again, we mentioned it before, but Chaos is now the ones on the clock. Grand Cathay holds the capture point. And Archeon gets shot by Zaytang through the woods. Zaytang is eating a lot of damage for this, though. Standing in front of all those throwing axes is costing him quite a lot of HP. He rips a shot into some Marauder Horsemen, doing negligible damage. Definitely doesn't want to be doing that. So we do have the Emperor's Croman coming in, and a Searing Doom on one side. That was really cool. One of the reasons I wanted to cast this game without checking it first is just like these are two of the best players currently playing, and you can see it. Searing Doom on this side of those Marauder Horsemen forces them this way into the Onyx Croman, or they opt into the spell and take a ton of damage either way. So that was really nice. Doom Knights of Tzeentch now getting involved. Their barriers eating the first couple shots from Zaytang and the boys. Once again, though, have to mention the tickets are just slowly stacking up for Grand Cathay. We do have the Forsaken moving in now, but Grand Cathay has been softened up quite a lot by this early game. Berserk did a great job with that. Hell Cannon just constantly poking in. Another Purple Sun in the middle on a different Celestial Dragon crossbow. Oof. Those units are not getting the value that Cegoz wanted out of them, as Purple Sun is just ripping through those guys after. It got some buffs. It got some buffs quite a while ago, but something about it increased its damage. I believe it just stays in the same place a little bit longer, so it doesn't travel as much, and then it stays on a target. Mark of Yin debuffing some of the Doom Knights. Zaytang gets a nasty shot on them, and some of those Doom Knights lost almost half HP already. It's a pretty big loss for Chaos, who have been vibing thus far. Yeah, one of them is below half HP now. Zaytang got another shot on him. Archeon's going to go duel the Watcher, and Zaytang can't shoot him in the face when they're right next to him. And another throwing axe volley, so he's going down. Zhao Ming is going to dive back in soon. Don't know where he's going to land exactly. And all the while, we do have the Zhengdu War Drum, increasing everybody's melee attacks. These Chaos Trolls are going to have a bad time versus the Peasant Long Spears and the Halberds and whatnot. Chaos does retake the point. Zaytang is about dead. He's toast. He's starting to do that crumble, which is very slow, but it'll get there. Archeon charges in to finish him off, and down Zaytang goes. One final stomp, and then he will fall apart. No way. And he's dead. Grand Cathay box has been broken. There's not much left in there for Chaos to really get onto. Two beautiful Purple Suns and a third have just taken out these Celestial Dragon crossbows, so there's not a lot for these guys to defend. It was relying on Peasant Long Spears and Jade Warriors to do most of the damage, but look at those Purple Suns. Oh my god, what is Archeon's value? Yeah, 2,000 already. Zhao Ming gets his healing popped. I don't know what Grand Cathay can do from this point. They have Peasants routing away at half HP. Even with their immune to psychology buffs from the Zhengdu War Drum, they're still just getting out of here. Alchemist is holding while she can. I don't see a lot of Final Transmutations out of her. Don't see a lot of Searing Dooms yet either. I don't know what her Wind's Magic situation is, but I doubt it's enough to turn this game around, as that was a very patient early game. And I don't know. Some people don't like games like that. Some people also get bored if every game I cast comes down to like the last unit versus the last unit. Oh my god, it's so close. Like this one, Berserk won it pretty good. Cegoz had a lot of good counterplay he did. That's just what you're going to get from two incredibly high-level players going back and forth. But Berserk had a very good game plan and knew how to patiently break the Grand Cathay box. So, just well played to both. GG's, and Archeon will be fighting Karth in the finals. I will cast that as a video, so you can get your... you can at least get the answer to who's the best legendary lord in the whole game. Well, I guess that's not fair, because Sipa's a really good player playing Rakarth, and Rakarth's a okay lord, so whatever. You get it. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Rawr. Subscribe. Yes, yes.